Happy New Year to all of you. Oh, I hope you all had good holidays. We'll start now. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Agajnana Padmarkam. Gajanana Maharnisham. Anekadantam Bhaktanam. Ekadantam Upasmahe. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamurupini. Vidyarambam karishyami siddhirbhavatu me sada. Shri Mahasaraswatyai namaha. Gurave sarvalokhanam vishaje bhavaroginam. Nidaye sarva vidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Gururdevo Maheswaraha. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya-पर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम् परित्यज्य मौनं वटादश्चितं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशं मधुस्यन्ति वाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गे नयन् श्रीजयेन्द्रोर्गुरुर्बाधिचित्ते नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्य विजयेन्द्रसरस्वतीं श्रीगुरुं शिष्टमार्गानुनेतारं षण्मतिप्रथमम् अस्मत् श्रीगुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिणयनाम् माणिक्यमौळिस्फुरत्तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मणिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत्पराम्बिकां श्रीं ललितामहात्रिपुरसुन्दर्यै नमः ॐ शुद्धस्फटिकशङ्काशं शुद्धविद्याप्रदायकं शुद्धं सच्चिन्सुखानन्दं सदाशिवमहं भजे ॐ श्रीशाम्ब परमेश्वराय नमः. So, can somebody tell me where we left it? Say 46, right? 46. But we briefly touched on 47, I think. Okay.
47. 47.
Briefly we touched it, yeah. So we didn't do much. Okay. 46 anything. आकीर्णे नगराजकान्तिविभवै उद्यत्सुधा वैभवै आध्येतेऽपि च पद्मरागललिते हंसव्रजैराश्रिते नित्यं भक्तिवदोगणैश्च रहसि स्वेच्छाविहारं कुरु स्थित्वा मानसराजहंस गिरिजानाथाङ्घ्रिसौधान्तरे आकीर्णे नगराजकान्तिविभवै उद्यत्सुधा वैभवैः अध्यौतोऽपि च पद्मरागललिते हंसव्रजैराश्रिते नित्यं भक्तिवदोगणैश्च रहसि स्वेच्छाविहारं कुरु स्थित्वा मानसराजहंसगिरिजा नाथाङ्घ्रिसौधान्तरे ஒரு மனசை வந்து ஒரு he compared the mind to a Hamsapakshi, right? Hamsapakshi. There's a pun on the word Hamsa because Hamsas are devotees of, very ardent devotees seeking moksha. So the mind was compared to a Pakshi, but the mind was also the devotee, right? So that was 46, right? Now we are going to do, we actually briefly touched on 47, I think. शम्बुध्यानवसन्तसङ्गिनी हिदारामेद्यजीर्णश्चदाः स्वस्था भक्तिलताश्चटा विलसिताः पुण्यप्रवाळश्रिताः दीप्यन्ते गुणकोरकाजपवच पुष्पाणि सद्वासना ज्ञानानन्दसुधामरन्दलहरी संवित्पलाभ्युन्नतिः शम्बुध्यानवसन्तसङ्गिनी हृदरामीद् अगज्जीर्णच्छदा श्रस्ता भक्तिलताश्चटा विलसिताः पुण्यप्रवाळश्रिताः दीप्यन्ते गुणकोरका जपवच पुष्पाणि सद्वासना ज्ञानानन्दसुधा अरन्दलहरि संवित्पलाभ्युन्नतिः. So this one was, he is comparing the heart of the devotee to a garden, right? So garden which needs to flower, which needs to have, give lots of fruits and flowers and whatnot. And what is the requirement for that? That is the discussion here. So what he's saying is, imagine a garden which is due to winter, due to the bad season or bad monsoon or whatever, it is completely gone bad. The leaves are rotting. The trees are not giving any fruit. The flower plants are not giving any flower, and so on. So that kind of a garden needs to bloom again, to start to give fruits again, and so on. What is required? Among the many things that are required, the first thing that is required is the change of season. So he is saying that when the winter goes and the springtime comes, everything starts changing, right? So fresh blooms, fresh leaves sprout. The flowers are able to blossom, fruits are able to come, and so with the change of season, everything changes, right? So here he is saying Sambodhyana Vasanta Sangini. Vasantam, the arrival of spring comes in the form of the devotion, the openly expressed devotion to Parameshwara. Sambodhyana Vasanta Sangini. Once the devotee is able to meditate on Parameshwara and devote his time on the Smaranam on Parameshwara, things start changing for him. So, Sambudhyana Vasanta Sangini, what happens to his heart? Krida Sambudhyana Vasanta Sangini, Hrida Arame. Arame means the garden. Hrida is the heart of the devotee. Hrida Arame, Sambudhyana Vasanta Sangini, Hrida Arame. What happens first of all? Aga Aga Jirnachadaha. Aga is the bad things, the sins, the all the bad vasanas. So they all are the Aga Jirnachadaha. So those leaves which are in the form of sins, which are completely rotten leaves, they all fall when this from at the end of this winter, and the fresh leaves start sprouting. So aga jirna chada. So the aga chadaha jirnaha. So the sins are completely removed from the person, and those sins, the leaf in the form of leaves, fall from the plant. So aga jirna chadaha. Then srastaha. Srastaha, and having become rotten, they fall from the tree. Srasta means to fall. So srastaha. So they all fall from that tree, which is the heart of the devotee. The person is completely gets rid of all the effects of the bad deeds, the sins. Then what happens? Now, having been purified, fresh things start happening to him. Bhaktilataha, Bhaktilataha Chataha, Bhaktilata Chataha, Bhaktilata Chata. Bhakti is a creeper, so Bhakti as a plant. Chataha means the everything that is associated with Bhakti. So there are several things. Bhaktilata Chata. Chata is the things that are associated with. So Bhakti Lata Chataha. So Bhakti Lata Chataha. Vilasitaha. Vilasitaha means they all start shining up. They all start showing up once again. They all start showing up, and the plant is showing a new life. So the explanation to the Bhaktilata Chataha are what are the things associated with the devotion. So he is saying that we all know that there are several things that are associated with the expression of devotion, which is Shravanam, Kirtanam, then Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam. So there are so many forms of expression of devotion. So the devotee is having got a better mind, better, better state of his mind. He is able to spend his time in various forms of expression of devotion. So, bhakti chataha vilasitaha. Then what happens? Punya pravala shritaha. Punya pravala shritaha. So pravala means those fresh leaves, right? So the new leaves which sprout out of the plant. So punya. So they are all the ones who are they are they are auspicious things which I explained in the previous class. Various of things that. Show that the person's mind is now clear, the person's mind is now turned in the right direction, and the person's mind is fixed on God. So punya pravalaha shritaha, they all start appearing. They all start appearing in the plant, which is the heart of the devotee. And I was explaining in the previous class about the various things that were explained in Bhagavad Gita. So many things which which are the natural attitude of somebody who has got the devotion towards the Lord. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 16, I was explaining to you in the previous class. Those things, those noble things, auspicious things, start appearing, start showing up. Punya Pravalashritah. Then the next thing is what? So there's a gentle turn in the mind of in the heart and mind of the devotee towards the Lord. So that is brought through the constant devotion to the Lord. So Punya Pravalasritaha, and then Guna Korakaha. Guna means the good things, good habits, in the form of buds of flowers. They start appearing. Gunakorakaha, and then Japa Vacha, Pushpani. Vacha means words, expressed words, right? So that is why Vachaha, Kayena Vacha, we say Vacha. So Vacha, Pushpani, the flowers. But what flowers? In the form of japa. So the person spends his time in doing japas and japa vachaha, Pushpani. So they are equated to flowers. Those flowers start coming up. Japa vacha Pushpani. Then Sadvasana, then Jnanananda Sudha Maranda Lahari. So let's first deal with the sadvasana. So now having vasanas, we know, are the habits that that a person gets because of the company that he has, or because the family he's born in, because of the society in which he lives. So those the satsangam creates good habits. So those vasanas start developing in the sadvasanas start developing in the devotee. So sadvasana, jnanananda, sudha, maranda, lahari, jnana an. So maranda is the sudha is the amritam. Maranda, the sweet nectar. So Maranda Lahari. So it starts jnana. So as a result of devotion to Lord, and as a result of having gotten rid of all the bad things in his mind, and as a result of all the sadvasanas and the auspicious things that happen to him, what happens is he is able to enjoy the bliss of the association with the Lord. So the jnanam, the realization of the Lord, so gives him anandam. So the jnana ananda sudha, jnana ananda sudha, maranda lahari. It starts, increasing in his mind. So jnana ananda maranda lahari. संवित्फल संवित्फल अभि उन्नतिः संयुत्फल अभि उन्नतिः संयुत्फल अभि उन्नतिः. So that gradually that the realization of the jnanam becomes more and more. So, Jnanananda Phala Abhi Unnati, and then in this way, the plant is the garden, which is the heart, is able to once again bloom in full. It's able to turn into full bloom as a result of all these things happen because of the spring, because the change of season, which is the spring, which is nothing but the meditation on the Lord Sambudhyanam. So the effect of constant devotion to the Lord is brings a change in the heart, that brings the increase in good habits, and increase in enhanced devotion to Lord, and you are able to spend more time on the the expression of various forms of bhakti, and as a result of all this, the jnanam and the anandam increases in you. That is the expression of this 47. Sambudhyana Vasanta Sangini. Sambudhyana Vasanta Sangini. Hृदा आमेकजीर्णच्छदा शस्ता भक्तिलताश्चटा विलसिताः पुण्यप्रवालश्रिताः दीप्यन्ते गुणगोरखाज्जभवच पुष्पाणि सद्वासना ज्ञानानन्दसुधामरन्दलहरी संवित्फलप्युन्नतिः संवित्फल अभि उन्नतिः. So that is the 47, which we had left halfway in the previous class. Well, in the next verse, in the 47th verse, he compared the heart and the devotion to the Lord in the form of a God. So here in the 48th one, he's going to compare the bhakti and the devotion to the heart, which is full of devotion to the Lord, as a lake, a clear lake. How does it work? Nityanandarasalayam suramuni swantambujatashrayam swacham sadvijasevitam kalushahrid sadvasana vishkritam sambudhyana sarovaram vrajamano hamsa patam sastiram kim kshudrashraya palvala brahmana sanjata prapyasi. Nityananda. So I'll go slowly. So if you can make your markings. Nityananda Rasalayam. Nitya Ananda Rasalayam. Nityananda Rasalayam. Suramuni Swanta Ambuja Ambuja Ambuja, sorry, Ambujata Asrayam. So, Nitya Ananda Rasalayam, Suramuni, Swanta Ambujata Asrayam. So, Nityananda Rasalayam, Suramuni, Swanta Ambujata Asrayam, Swacham, Sadvijasevitam, Kalushahrid, Sadvasana Vishkritam. Sambudhyana sarovaram brajamano hamsavatam sastiram kim kshudratsraya palvala brahmana sanjatasramam prapyasi. So, what you have two situations which are possible for every human being. One, you can turn your attention to the Lord, and you can spend your time in devotion to the Lord, as a result of which you are able to achieve peace of mind and everlasting happiness. That is one possibility. The other possibility is to spend your time in attending to all kinds of worldly pleasures, maybe reading books, watching movies, reading stories, and or listening to songs or whatever, which provide you momentary pleasure, but do not provide their end result of it is only bad result, even though they provide pleasure for the moment. Or the other alternative is to meditate on the Lord, which provides you everlasting happiness, right? So in Bhagavatam, they compare the situation to the two people, one set of people who are like crows. According to them, they are like crows. So those crows, they always go after all the dirty things, like leftover food, leftover everything, and they try to go into the garbage and pick their food. So that is one set of people. The second set of people are the ones who are like the hamsas, swans, who live in live in the lake, a clear lake, and enjoy only the good things in life. So that is that situation is what he is talking about in this particular verse. The Bhagavatam says, "Nayad vachas nayad vachas chitrapadam hareyaso." जगत्पवित्रं परगृणीतहर्षिषत् तद्वायसं तीर्थम् उशान्तिमानस नयत्र हंस निरमद्धि उशिक्षयः. So there is Bhagavatam, that comparison between the first set of people who are like crows and the other set of people who are like swans. So here the with the same analogy Bhagavad Pada uses to say that if I have the great opportunity to to live like a swan, why would I spend my time like a crow, which is going after all the bad things in life? So that's what we will see here. Okay, some Nityanandarasalayam, Nityanandarasalayam. So that you understand, Nitya Ananda Rasa. Rasa Ananda Rasam means the Amritam which provides the Anandam. So Nitya Ananda Rasalayam, everlasting. Alayam is the repository. So Nitya Ananda Rasa Alayam. So it's a repository of everlasting happiness, which is the devotion to the Lord. So Nityananda Rasalayam Suramuni Swanta Ambujatha Astrayam. Suramuni is the rishis who are the rishis who are present in the Devaloka. Suramuni Swanta 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 Hriday Swanta, sorry, Suramuni Swanta Ambujata Ashrayam. Swanta means their hearts, then Ambujata means their hearts, if they are considered as lotus flowers. Ambujata Astrayam means permanently residing. Who is residing permanently in the hearts of the rishis? They are nobody other than Lord Shiva. So constantly the one who is permanently resident in the minds and hearts of the devotees. So Suramuni Swanta Ambujata Ashrayam. So Nityananda Rasalayam, Suramuni Swantambujathashrayam. Then the third one is Swacham. Swacham is like you're all very familiar with Swachh Bharat, so you understand what is Swacham. Swacham is very clean, very clear. Swacham. Then Sadvija Sevitam. Sadvija Sevitam. Sad means very good-hearted. Dvija means, let us say in this case, devotees, not Brahmins. Sadvija Sevitam. Sevitam means worshipped by. So Sadvija Sevitam. Then Kalusha Hrid. Hrid. Kalusha Hrid. Hrid in this case is the destroyed, removed, destroyed, devoid of. So Kalusha means sins, the dirty things. So Kalusham. Kalusham is so the all the evil things have been removed. So Kalusha Hrid. Sadvasana Avishkridam. Vasana is what, like I already explained, what is Vasana. So Sadvasana Avishkritam. So bringing out all the good things, all the good vasanas, in the bringing to forth in any devotee. Sadvasana Avishkritam, bringing out all the good attitude, good habits of the devotee. So these are all the great things that one gets by being constant smaranam, being returning your devotion to Parameshwara. So Nityanandarasalayam Suramuni Swantambujatas Ashrayam Swacham Sadvijasevitam Kalushahrid Sadvasana Avishkritam. With all this, how do they where do you find you find them in the heart of the person who spends his time in devotion to the Lord, and therefore Sambudhyana Sarovaram. Sambudhyana Sarovaram. The lotus pond or the lake, whichever way you take it, Sarovaram is okay. Sambudhyana Sarovaram. So in that pond you can find it. So as a result of your devotion to the Lord, you get all these things. So this is your opportunity. In that Sarovaram, you will be a Hamsam. So Sambudhyanam Sarovaram, Stiram Sambudhyanam Sarovaram, Mano Hamsa, Avathamsa. Mano Hamsa, the heart, which is like a swan, which is resident in the Sambudhyanam. The lake, which is nothing but the Sambudhyanam. So Sambudhyana Sarovaram, Manohamsa Avata, Stiram Rajaha. Stiram is constantly, permanently, Rajaha, living or to be found. So if you are able to spend your time in the devotion to the Lord, you are able to achieve all these things. This is your opportunity. If this opportunity is available to you, why would you Kshudra Astraya Palvala? Kshudra Ashraya Palvala. Kshudra means the lowly things, Astraya, devoting or involving yourself in. Kshudra Astraya Palvala. Palvala is the dirty pond, or you can say garbage generally. A dirty pond, a dirty small pond. So, Kshudra, Astraya, Palvala, Brahmana, Sanjata Shramam. Brahmana, Sanjata. So, what is the end result? End result is Brahmanam. Brahmanam is lost mind. Sanjata Kramam. Then searching for happiness all the time here and there. If not one garbage, it's another garbage and what. So, in this way, because you do something you think that is going to give you happiness, it does not give you happiness, so you take to something else again in search of happiness. Then it just go from place to place to place, or from habit to habit to habit, or from company to company to company. So sanjada brahmana sanjada shramam. Why do you have to take it? Kim prapsasi. Why do you go through that kind of the difficulty of why do you have such a pick that as your choice while you have the opportunity to enjoy the permanent happiness in the form of devotion to the Lord Shiva. So as I told you, Hamsas are the ones who are Hamsa as a swan and Hamsa as a person who is constantly devoted to the Lord, as we saw in verse 45. So that opportunity is available to you. Why do you have to go after these lowly worldly pleasures? That's what he is saying in this 48. Nityananda Rasalayam Suramuni Swantambujatashrayam Swacham Sadvijasevitam Kalashahrid Sadvasana Avishkritam. So, Nityananda Rasalayam, that I already explained to you, Suramuni Swanta Ambujata Astrayam Swacham Sadvija Sevitam, I explained to you also, Kalushahrit Sadvasana Avishkritam, then with all these great things. How do you get Sambudhyana Sarovaram? So if you are like a Hamsa in the Sambudhyana Sarovaram, that if your heart is like a Hamsa in the Sambudhyana Sarovaram, then you get all these things. So Sambudhyana Sarovaram Vraja Mano Hamsa Avathamsa. So why how long? Stiram, permanently. So he's telling his heart Manohamsa Avatamsa Stiram Raja. Always reside there. Don't even think of anything else. So Sambodhyana Sarovaram Braja Mano Hamsa Avatamsa Stiram. Then he is saying, Kim, for what reason? Sanjata Ashramam Prapyasi. For what reason you have to go do the other one, which is Kshudra, Astraya, Phalvala, Brahmana, Sanjata, Stramam Prapyasi. Why do you have to do the other thing? So you only have a better choice. Okay. So नित्यानन्दरसालयं सुरमुनि स्वान्ताम्बुजाताश्रयं स्वच्छं सद्विजसेवितं कलुषहृद् सद्वासनाभिष्कृतम् शम्भुद्यानसरोवरं व्रजमनो हंसावतंसस्थिरम् किं क्षुद्राश्रयफल्वलभ्रमण सञ्जातश्रमं प्राप्स्यसि प्राप्स्यसि. Okay. So that is the verse 48. Then the next one is Bhakti. Oh, once again, so the last three, four verses, he keeps on talking about Bhakti only, right? So in the next one, he's going to talk about the Bhakti. What does it lead permanently to, finally to? Finally, it provides so complete liberation from the samsara, the worldly desires, worldly activities, worldly, whatever the effect of, the worldly activities, and provides you moksha, the way to liberation. So bhakti resulting in mukti or moksha. That is the next one, 49. Anandamrita harapadam harapada ambojala valodhyadam Thairyopadnopedya bhaktiladhika Shakopashakanvita उच्चैर्मानसकायमानपटलीम् आक्रम्य निष्कल्मषाम् नित्याभीष्टफलप्रथा भवतु मे सत्कर्म संवर्धिता आनन्दामृतपूरिता हरबदाम्बोजालपालोद्यथा स्थैर्योपग्नमुपेद्य भक्तिलधिका शाखोपशाखान्विता उच्चैर्मानसकायमानपटलीम् आक्रम्य निष्कल्मषा नित्याभीष्टफलप्रदा भवतु मे सत्कर्म संवर्धिता. So lots of words there. So in order for you to be able to practice it, first you want to understand the words here. Ananda, Amrita, Purita, Ananda, Amrita, Purita. Then Harapada, Amboja, Harapada, Amboja, Alavala, Udyata. So Ananda Amrita Purita, Harapada, Amboja, Alavala, Udyata. What does it mean? Anandamrita Purita. So in the previous one, what did we say? Nityanandarasalayam. So similar to that here, Anandamrita Purita. Ananda Amrita Purita. It is full of Ananda Amritam. So Ananda Amrita Purita. Then the next one would, all these are nothing but as a result of devotion, right? Ananda Amrita Purita. Harapada Amboja Alavala Udyatha. Harapadam, you understand. Hara is Parameshwara. Padam, his pada Aravindam. So the lotus feet. Harapada Amboja, the lotus feet of Parameshwara. Harapada Amboja. Alavala Udyatha. Alavalam. How to explain Alavalam? So let's say you keep a new plant with either in so if it is a very small plant, you put it in a pot and then fill it with lots of sand, and then you fix the plant in that pot. Or if it is a bigger one, you create some kind of a, what we call in Tamil as a pati, that is some kind of a pot-like thing on the ground itself to hold the water that you pour, right? So that is the alavalam. So some kind of a base in which you can pour water, so that the plant is able to absorb the water slowly and completely without wasting it. So, alavala udyata. Udyata means generated from, arising from. So, Arapada Amboja Alavala Udyata. That means what? The devotion in this case, where does it reside? It resides in the devotee's mind, resides in the mind the feet, Father Aravindam of Parameshwara. So he is constantly devoted to Parameshwara, and therefore his mind rises, the all the good things that happen to him arise out of his devotion to the Lord. Therefore, Harapada Amboja Alavala Udyatha. So by constantly turning his attention to, in this case, the Alavalam is the devotion that he shows on the Parameshwara, the devotion on the Smaranam to Parameshwara. So Parameshwara's feet. So Harapada, Alavala, Amboja, Amboja, Alavala, Udyatha, arising from. So Ananda Amrita. What happened as a result of that? Ananda Amrita Purita. Eventually, his mind is full of Ananda Amritam. Then Ananda Amrita Purita, Harapada Amboja Alavala Udyata. Then Stairya, Stairya, Upagnam, Upethya. Stairya, Upagnam, Upethya. Stairya means stability. So when we do the Sankalpam in all our pujas, we say Kshema, Stairya, Dhairya, Virya, Vijaya, Ayu, Arogya, blah, 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 blah. All that we say. So one of the things that we ask for is stability, stability in life. So we must be able to not fall from wherever we are, and then only we can go up. And for this reason, we say Kshema, Stairya, stability in life. So Stairya, tranquility, stability, peace of mind, all that is Stairyam. So Stairya, Upagnam is the something which provides support. So suppose you have a stick and to which you tie a creeper, that stick is the Upagnam. So or well, let's say you what? So let's say it's a stick for now. So Stairya, Upagna, Upethya, Upethya is holding on. So Stairya, Upagnam, Upethya. That means what? So you remember in the in one of the earlier Dritistamba Adharam. If you remember the verses, Dritistamba Adharam, like that. So the steady mind. So you should not be, once you have started placing your devotion and faith on Lord Shiva, or for that matter any God. So you don't want to do devotion for one day and then say, hey, I did this, but I don't find any result. No, you shouldn't do that. So you should have the steady mind of constantly placing your faith on the Lord. So there is sorry, Dhritastambhadaram. Then the way Stairya Upagnam Upethya. And what happened then? Bhakti Latika. Bhakti Latika, what happens that the Bhakti Latika is a creeper plant. So Bhakti Latika, that Bhakti as a creeper plant, what happens to it? Shaka, Upashaka, Anvita. Shaka, Upashaka, Anvita. Branches. It's slowly, how does a tree grow? Then first of all, one small leaf comes, and from out of it, then the small branches come, and from those small branches sub branches come. So in this way, but that means what? The tree is growing. In the same way, the creeper is growing. The creeper is growing, and how does that creeper grow? It grows with bhakti latika, that bhakti latika, shaka, upashaka, and with upashaka is the main things that you do, the various things that you do, as I was explaining. So Smaranam, Suti, Archanam, Padasevanam, and all those things. Those are all the shakas. The Upashakas are the, then you go and do it alone, do it in company. So various ways by which your devotion is expressed and the strength of your devotion is enhanced. So Shaka, Upashaka, and Vitha. Then through and in order for that bhakti to grow, you need the stairya, that is the steady mind as its support. Then bhakti latika, shaka, upashaka, anvita. Then what? Uchair manasa kayamana patalim. Uchair manasa kayamana patalim. Uchair manasa means your mind is now slowly turning from all the bad things that which get occupy your mind, as a result of which your mind is not always never getting any peace or happiness. Now it is rid of those things and slowly going up. Uchair manasam is literally speaking growing upward. So uchair manasa kayamana patalim. Kayamana patalim means, so what is the what in the previous words? What did he equate bhakti to? Bhakti was equated to a latika. Latika is a creeper. So that creeper required support. That support was, one support is the sorry, Stairya Upagnam. Stairyam as a support. In this, the second support is Uchchair Manasam, that is turning your mind only on the good things that help you to improve your, constantly keep your mind in devotion to Lord. So we say that Badram Kalne Vishnuniyama Deva, like that. But meaning that everything that you do should be only towards noble things. So Uchair Manasa Kayamana Patalim. Patalim is like Tamil we say, in Tamil we say Pandal, right? Pandal means what? Some kind of support that you provide to the plant. So Kayamana Patalim Akramya. So using that support, it starts spreading. Akramya. So Uchair Manasa Kayamana Patalim Akramya. Then Nishkalmasha. So completely, as a result of all this, it now slowly, all the bad things in your mind are removed. And Kalmasham is, in the previous one, what did he say? Kalusha Krid. Here he says Nishkalmasha. All the bad things, all the evil habits, all the bad vasanas are completely removed. Nishkalmasha. Then Satkarma Samvardhada. Nishkalmasha. Then Satkarma Samvardhita. Satkarma means that you understand. Satkarmam Samvardhita. Samvardhita means slowly growing up, slowly growing. So the bad things are going down and the good things are going up. So this Nishkalmasha Satkarma Samvardhita. And then when all these things happen, eventually you are able to achieve the moksham or the ananda, nitya anandam, and from out of the way to moksham. So nitya abhishta palaprada. So may nitya abhishta palaprada bhavatu. Let me be, by doing all these things, to me, Nitya permanent, Abhishta, whatever I desire, which is the moksham, Nitya Abhishta, Phala Prada Bhavatu. Let me achieve moksham, let me achieve anandam, let me achieve everlasting happiness. May Bhavatu, let me achieve, let me be provided with Nitya Abhishta Phalam. Let me get the moksham that I am looking for through the bhakti, which is that bhakti latika. How does it grow? Which grows because of the devotion to Lord, with then the constant faith, and then the steady mind, and turning towards keeping only good habits and removal of bad habits and all that. So that is the which when you do that, Nitya Abhishta Bhalam is assured. That is this next verse 49. So Ananda Amrita Purita Harapada Amboja Alavala Udyatha Stairya Upagna Upethya Stairyam Upegnam Upethya, then Bhakti Latika Shaka Upashaka Anvita उच्चैर्मानसकायमानपटलीमाक्रम्य निष्कल्मषा सत्कर्म संवर्धिता मे मे नित्याभीष्टफलप्रदा bhavatu. That is the proper prose way of arranging the verse 49. Okay. Anandamrita purita harabadam सरपदाम्बोजालबालाद्युता स्थैर्यं स्थैर्यमुपग्नमुपेत्य भक्तिलतिका शाखोपशाखान्विता उच्चैर्मानसकायमानपटलीम् आक्रम्य निष्कल्मषाम् नित्याभीष्टफलप्रदा भवतु मे सत्कर्म संवर्धिता. Oh, that is 49. So the next one is having explained this, with the various with using various comparison, he explained the importance of bhakti towards the Lord. So now the next one, verse 50, we'll stop with 50 today. He is it's a pun between the jasmine plant and Parameshwara. Similar, the previous one, there is some kind of a Shiladai, we say in Tamil. That was to the lion and Shiva. And then there was one which was something else, right? Some other pun also. Now, in this one, the Shiva and jasmine plant. How does he do that? सन्ध्यारम्भविजृम्भितं श्रुतिशिरस्थानान्तराधिष्ठितं सप्रेमभ्रमराभिरामम् असकृत्सद्वासनाशोभितं भोगीन्द्राभरणं समस्तसुमनं पूज्यं गुणाविष्कृतं सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुनमहालिङ्गं शिवालिङ्गितम् सन्ध्यारम्भविजृम्भितं श्रुतिशिखरस्थानान्तराधिष्ठितं सप्रेमभ्रमराभिराममसकृत् सद्वासनाशोभितं भोगीन्द्राभरणं समस्तसुमनं पूज्यं गुणाविष्कृतं सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुनमहालिङ्गं शिवालिङ्गितम्. So that is verse 50. So he is this particular Sivananda Lahari, as we all know, was composed in Sri Shailam in the Mallikarjuna Kshetram. And so this verse is dedicated to Mallikarjuna. Sheve Srigiri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam. Oh, that, but at the same time, it is called Mallika, right? So therefore, this is the pun on jasmine. So सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुनमहालिङ्गं शिवालिङ्गितं शिव Shiva Alingitam. Shiva Alingitam is what? Shiva is Parvati, right? So Shiva Alingitam. So Alingitam is embraced by. So Parameshwara embraced by Gauri. So Shiva Alingitam. Where is the Shiva Alingitam to be found? Sri Mallikarjuna Mahalingam. That Mallikarjuna Kshetram. That was Sri Shaila Kshetram. That Mallikarjuna. So how to approach this? First one, Sandhya Aramba. Sandhya Aramba Vijrumbitham. First one, if you want to make notes, Sandhya Aramba Vijrumbidham. That is the first one. First one set of words. Second set of words. Shruti Shira. Shruti Shira. Sthana Antara Adhishtidam. Stuti Stira. Stuti Shira. Sthana Antara Adhishtidam. Okay. So when you combine all this, it becomes Shruti Shirasthana Antara Adhishtidam. Sandhyaramba Vijrumbidham. Shruti Shirasthana so that is how it comes then. The second line, Sapreme Brahmara Abhiramam. Sapreme Sapreme Brahmara Abhiramam. Then Asatkrit Sadvasana Shobhitam. Okay, that is the fourth one. Then fifth one, Bogindra Abharanam. Bogindra Abharanam. So fifth one. Next one, Samasta Sumana Pujyam. Samasta Sumana Pujyam. That is the sixth one. Then Guna Avishkritam. Guna Avishkritam. So this is seven, I think, right? Seven different things he is talking about. When in this, all the seven things are applicable to the Jasmine also and applicable to Parameshwara also. Okay. First, we will see that how the first one. Either we can finish the whole of Jasmine or we can finish both side by side. Sandhya, Aramba, Vijrumbidham. So in the evening time, Sandhya, Aramba, in the evening time, the beginning of the evening time, Sandhya Aramba, Vijrumbidham, blossoming, the jasmine flowers, they blossom nicely in the evening time. So Sandhya Aramba Vijrumbidham. In the case of Parameshwara, Sandhya Aramba, the Pradosha time is a very important time for Parameshwara. So Vijrumbidham, he is particularly happy when people pray to him in the evening time. So Sandhya Aramba Vijrumbidham. The second one, Shruti Shira Sthana Antara Adhishtidam. Okay. Shruti Shira Sirasthana Antara Adhishtidam. Adhishtidam means residing in. So Shruti is what? Shruti is ear. So Shrotha. So then Shira is what? Head. So where do you keep jasmine flowers? So you keep it either in your ears, men folk, or in the head, women folk. So Shruti Shira Antara in your ears or in your head. So Shruti Shira Antara Antara Adhishtidam. So okay, it is kept there. So that is why jasmine flowers, once they are plucked from the plant, they are to be seen there. So Shruti Shira Antara Adhishtidam. The case of Parameshwara, how does it? Shruti is what? Vedas. So Shruti, Shira, which is the crest of Vedas. The crest of Vedas are Upanishads. So Shruti Shira, Antara, in within the Upanishads, Adhishtidam. So all the verses of Upanishads, they are all talking about the Brahman, right? The Vedantam is the Upanishads, and they all talk about Brahman, which is the Lord, the Parabrahman, are fully extolled in through the Upanishads, and therefore Shruti Antara Adhishtadam. Parameshwara is fully described in Upanishads. Therefore, Shruti Antara Adhishtadam. Then Saprema Brahmara Abhiramam. Brahmanam is, we know, is bees, right? So, one in Tamil, so it is Brahmaram. Sapreme Abhiramam. Abhiramam means what? Very beautiful, right? Rama Abhiramam. Abhiramam is very beautiful, very likable. So Saprema Brahmara Abhiramam. So liked by the bees. Liked by bees too much because it's full of honey. Therefore, the bees like the jasmine flowers. So Sapreme Brahmara Abhiramam. In the case of Parameshwara, Brahmara is Brahmarambika Parvati. So Brahmarambika. So like the by Brahmarambika, very excessively. So Saprema, Brema, Brahmara, Abhiramam. So that is the third one. The fourth one is what? Asakrit. Asakrit. Satvasana Shobhitam. Asakrit means always, permanently, free. Some people interpret it as frequently. So you free again and again. So repeatedly. All this is Asakrit. 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 Sadvasana Shobhitam. Sadvasana Shobhitam means what? The who has got Sadvasana? The people, the devotees who are sadhus, right? So sadvasana shobhitam. Shobhitam means they are because of the devotion that is shown by the sadhus towards Parameshwara. So with which he is they show their devotion in the form of poems, in the form of slokas, in the form of all those decorate the Parameshwara. Therefore, Sadvasana Shobhitam. So, Asakrit Sadvasana Shobhitam. That is Parameshwara. In the case of jasmine, the fragrance, Sadvasana, beautiful fragrance that jasmine flower has is permanent. So, as long as it doesn't, get bad, that the beautiful fragrance doesn't go away from the jasmine flower. Therefore, Asakrit Sadvasana Shobhitam. It's very pleasant smell plus very pleasant fragrance is the jasmine's nature. So Asakrit Sadvasana Shobhitam. So Sandhya Aramba Vijrumbitham Shruti Sthana Antara Adhishtidam, then Saprema Brahmara Abhiramam, then Asakrit Sadvasana Shobhitam, then Bogindra Abharanam. Bogindra is the snake, right? So Parameshwara is wearing a snake around his neck, therefore Bogindra Abharanam. So he is wearing the snake as one of his Abharanam. So that is as it applies to Parameshwara. In the case of Jasmine, who people who are bogies, people who are enjoying their life, bogindras. Bogindras are people who want to have wear jasmine and they enjoy life. So they are bogindras. So bogindra abharanam. So expression of happiness. Well, to all the ladies, all the rich people, all whosoever want to show that that they are enjoying, they wear this jasmine. So bogindra abharanam. Then the next one, what? Samasta sumana pujyam. Samasta sumana pujyam. So so of all the flowers, one of the very sought after flowers is jasmine because of its excellent smell. So samasta sumanaha, out of all the flowers. So pujyam, very sought after flower, which is jasmine flower. In the same way, samasta sumanaha pujyam. All sumanaha are people who are having good heart, which are the devotees who are devoted to the Lord. So they all worship Parameshwaras. Therefore, samasta sumanaha pujyam in the case of Parameshwara. So samasta sumana pujyam Guna Avishkritam. Guna Avishkritam. All the guna in the case of jasmine is it is beautiful. It has got fragrance. It is nice. It is enjoyable to it provides some kind of pleasant, pleasing, pleasant happiness to the minds of the person who is bearing it, and therefore guna avishkritam. In the case of Parameshwara, he is full of all the noble, attributes. Therefore, he is guna avishkritam. He is full of, Suddha Spitika Sankasam, Suddha Vidya Pradayakam, like that. He has got so many noble attributes about which all the stutis and slokas were described. So she is guna avishkritam in this way. So the Jasmine and the Lord Parameshwara are compared. And what about the final line then? Sheve Sri Giri Mallika Arjuna. Mallika Arjuna. So Mallika Arjuna is the Lord of Sri Sailam. Mallika Arjuna, Mahalingam, this lingam which is to be found in Sri Sailam. To that Mahalingam, here, who is the Shiva Alingitam, which I already explained. I offer my prayers to, I offer worship to Sheve Sri Giri Sri Mallikarjuna Shiva Alingitam. That's how the poem is completed. Okay. सन्ध्यारम्भविजृम्भितं श्रुतिशिर स्थानान्तराधिष्ठितं सप्रेम भ्रमराभिरामसकृत् सद्वासनाशोभितं भोगीन्द्राभरणं समस्तसुमनं पूज्यं गुणाविष्कृतं सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुनमहालिङ्गं सा शिवालिङ्गितम् सन्ध्यारम्भविजृम्भितं श्रुतिशिरस्थानान्तराधिष्ठितं सप्रेमभ्रमराभिराममसकृत् सद्वासनाशोभितं भोगीन्द्राभरणं समस्तसुमनं पूज्यं गुणाविष्कृतं सेवे श्रीगिरिमल्लिकार्जुनमहालिङ्गं शिवालिङ्गितम्. So with that, we have reached the half point in this. So let's see exactly where he has placed this 50th sloka on the place where he composed this particular beautiful Sivananda Lahari. This and the next one, they are location specific verses, which will, so having now completed the 50th one, I had promised that I will record it and send it, but got busy with all this Gus who are here. So in the next few days, I will record all the verses from 1 to 50 all over again. And I hope that you are all able to catch up and chant this at least 5-10 verses in each class, starting from the next class. Okay. Namaskaram. See you all. Happy New Year to all of you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Sir, Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Mama.